what's up everyone, and welcome to my review for Bad Grandpa, which of course is a spin-off of the Jackass films, as we all know, those masterpieces of film, and this is a spin-off because it takes one of the, one of the only, actually it's probably the only character, well, I don't know. It's one of the only characters from the Jackass films. Irving Vissman, which is this old 80-year-old man. He shows his balls a lot, whatever. If you've seen the Jackass films, you definitely know. He's played by Johnny Knoxville. And of course, they took him and made a whole movie based around that character, which is, pretty genius, seeing that the character is probably always the funniest part of those movies to me. So, what did I think of a whole movie based on that one really funny part in those Jackass films? Well, let's talk about the story. The story for Bad Grandpa follows Irving Vissman, played by Johnny Knoxville, who is an 86-year-old man and, as the title would suggest, a bad grandpa. He has his grandson with him, played by Jackson Nichol, and the whole story revolves around them going pretty much cross-country to go bring his grandson to his father. And along the way, of course, they get into a bunch of wacky situations, mostly because of Irving and his stupidity, and that's pretty much it. That's a story. There's really not much story here. That's really completely it. It's a pretty short film, and all it is just gag, 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 gag. Oh, some bonding between them, and then gag, gag, gag. And, that's the story, and that's all I wanted, to be honest. I actually felt that it was a little bit too story-heavy at times, which, yes, I know that sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. A movie like this, even a little bit of a story is a little bit too much. But this movie, there's a whole 10-minute sequence at the end, or pretty close to the end, where it's just not funny, and it's actually trying to wrap things up and, try to be a little bit dramatic, even though it's still amusing here and there. It's chuckle-worthy. But the last 10 minutes kind of brought it down, because the first hour was so freaking funny, and pretty much every gag worked. I laughed my ass off. Everybody was laughing their ass off. And then that last 10 minutes, it was just like, oh, okay. But, it wasn't as funny as the first hour, and I just felt like it was trying to do too much with the story, and it brought it down, in my opinion. And I really enjoyed that first hour. Even the last few minutes I thought was really funny. So it really did bring it down completely. I would have just loved that this film was a day in the life of Irving Vissman and his 8-year-old grandson. If it was just them partying, screwing around, doing all the gags that you see in the first hour of the film, and that was it. If that was the whole movie, where it was just like a day in the life, and the ending is just, oh, well, that was good, let's go to sleep. And that's it. That's the whole movie. I would love that. But no, there's a story, and that kind of sucks. Now, while the story did get in the way at times, I still thought the gags were really, really hilarious. The first hour and the last few minutes, really just, I was laughing almost non-stop throughout. And I love Johnny Knoxville, and I love Jackson Nichol in this. They are both great, and they actually have a lot of really funny chemistry, too, which I loved. The 86-year-old with an 8-year-old, that's a great pairing, man, even though, of course, Johnny Knoxville is like half that age. But still, it's a great combination, and they do a great job here. And, of course, if you don't know, the humor is very much like Borat, where Johnny Knoxville goes into a crowd of people, does something weird, and then a hidden camera records everybody's reactions. And I felt like, well, no, this is what I felt before I went to go see the film. I thought maybe it was going to feel repetitive, like, oh, we've seen this before. But they did a damn good job of making it feel fresh, and a whole bunch of different situations that Irving was getting into. It was just really funny, and it did feel very fresh. When the story started getting in the way, and it wasn't funny that much, it just brought it down. But when there's gags, they're always funny. They really, really are. So overall, I think this movie is very funny. Johnny Knoxville and especially Jackson Nichol, they do great. They're just naturals at this. Of course, Johnny Knoxville is, but Jackson Nichol is so good in this. He has so many really funny lines, and he's great. He's like an 8-9-year-old kid, and he does a great job. So overall, I'm gonna give Bad Grandpa a 34 out of 40. I thought it was really funny. Definitely go check it out. There you go. There's my review. Thank you and goodbye.